Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is MassiveBrad and welcome back to my FIFA 19 Southampton career mode. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for love and support on the channel. And as you guys are well aware now, from FIFA 19 through to FIFA 20 through to FIFA 21, we won't be looking over the previous episode anymore. If you guys have missed episode 3, definitely go and give it a watch. We had some unbelievable games in it. We also, thanks to Maze, managed to sign Greg Taylor. We sadly didn't get him to join the team right now, but he will be joining us in January. But the new thing we do on this channel now is look at what games we have up and coming in today's episode. For the first game is going to be away from home, facing off against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We then have Chelsea FC coming to St Mary's Stadium. We are at home for that one, so I'm excited for that game. We've then got Bournemouth away from home, and then Newcastle back at home. So what I plan to do in today's episode is we will be simulating the game against Wolves, we'll be playing the game against Chelsea, playing the game against Bournemouth, and simulating the game against Newcastle. Now, obviously, the reason I should really play the Wolverhampton Wanderers game because we're away from home. There's a bigger risk that we'll lose that game because we're simulating it. But we're playing Chelsea at home, and I think even a team like Chelsea coming to St Mary's Stadium, even though we should simulate this game and be in a better favour to beat them, the team that Chelsea have got, for me, it's just not worth it. I need to play that game. And then I had a choice between Bournemouth and Newcastle. And obviously, Newcastle were at home, so we're better favoured to win that game. Whereas for Bournemouth, we are away from home. So that is why I am playing Chelsea and Bournemouth, and we'll be simulating the game against Newcastle and Wolves. Now, the first game is pretty important because, as you can see, as we start today's episode, we are currently down in joint 6th position with Newcastle United and also Burnley, only 1 point behind the team we are about to face off, and that of course is Wolverhampton Wanderers. I would say so far, guys, and from what the feedback I'm getting for you guys, and again, thank you so much for the unbelievable support, the comments, the likes. It's been absolutely unreal, guys. I'm so happy that this series is getting the support. I honestly thought that, I've said many times now, the Liverpool career mode done so well, and then the Ajax road to glory wasn't as good as the Liverpool one, but it was still pretty decent. One season wonder just didn't get the views or the likes or anything like that. So I was concerned that finishing the Liverpool career mode and starting a Southampton career mode, or starting one final career mode in FIFA 19, it could sacrifice the channel a little bit, take a little bit of a hit. But so far, you guys have smashed it. And I did just look a few hours ago, in episode 1 of the Southampton career mode, we've just gone over 100 views. So thank you so much. 100 views to a lot of you is probably nothing, but to me, it's absolutely outstanding. So thank you so much. But as I was saying, we're currently down in 6th position. We are 7 points behind the leaders, Manchester City. Unfortunately, we did lose to Liverpool 4-3. You guys left so many comments. It was an unbelievable game. Mo Salah turned up on the day. It was a Mo Salah masterclass. That's what I called the episode. He was just solid with his right foot, with his left foot, with his head. I couldn't stop him. But we didn't give up. The heads didn't drop. We kept fighting. And unfortunately, we managed to pull 3 back. Another 10 minutes in that game. And I think we'd have got a point, maybe even 3 points out of it. But sadly, the referee did blow his full-time whistle. And we did sadly lose. So they now sit in 2nd position on 12 points. They're only 3 points ahead of us. So realistically, if we beat Wolves here, and any of the top 4, or more the fact between 2nd and 4th, so West Ham, Spurs and Liverpool, if they drop any points, we will move up to that level. So if Liverpool, Spurs and West Ham all lost and we beat Wolves, we would move up to 2nd position. But right now, it seems like Manchester City are the team that want to keep pushing. They've played 6, won 5, drawn 1. They are still yet to lose. Spurs also are yet to lose. We've sadly lost once. We've had too many draws. We've already had 3 draws. That's not good enough. And only 2 wins. So we need to turn that round in today's episode. And I'm hoping this first simulated game against Wolves, we can do just that. But this is the lineup we are putting out. We've got Lautaro Martinez linking up with Che Adams in that striker position role. Redmond, Højbjerg, Ward-Prowse and Genepo in the midfield. Bertrand, Vestergaard, Bednarek and Mailer at the back with Angus Gunn between the sticks. Let's go ahead and simulate this game. I am hopeful we can get a win. If we start today's episode with a win for the first simulated game in today's episode, I think we might just be in a favour to have a very good episode with plenty of goals. As the players warm up, I am excited for this. Come on, we've got to beat Wolves here, lads. Referee has blown the whistle and we are off. 15 minutes in and nothing has happened yet. Neves picks up a yellow card in the 19th minute. 30 minutes in, nothing else has happened. We're fast approaching half time here, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like we are into the second half now, and nothing has happened in the first half other than a yellow card to Neves. Genepo's just scored in the 59th minute to give us that 1-0 lead over Wolves. Get me a second. Come on, lads, keep fighting. 10 minutes to go. It's so on edge here. They could easily score in the last few minutes. They haven't. The referee has blown his full-time whistle. And we have beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home 1-0. Thanks to our number 12, the new signing for Southampton this season, Genepo. So take a bow, son. Very well done. And as I glimpse down to the latest scores, in the 74th minute, Montoya scores for Brighton to go on and cause City to drop 2 points. And they only managed to draw. Both teams, Manchester City and Brighton, only get 1 point out of it. And it's thanks to Brighton scoring in the 74th minute. They took it from 2-1 to 2-2. And City have dropped points. That is good for us, but I'm hopeful. Spurs, I've just spotted Spurs as well. Spurs drew to Huddersfield. Hogg scored in the 73rd, which means Spurs have just dropped points. This could be great news for us. If Liverpool drop points and West Ham drop points, we should potentially be back in the top 4. Right, guys, and here we are at match day, about to face off against Chelsea at the St Mary's Stadium. We are in an unbelievable position right now. First of all, Lautaro Martinez has picked up Player of the Month in September, so well done to him. He's come in for Southampton. We brought him in from Inter Milan on loan, 50k a week. He's been absolutely spectacular, and I hope he just continues to grow, continues to score, continues to get assists, and if he keeps doing what he's doing, he could be in a run here for potentially the top goal scorer and pick up that golden boot. He's currently not in the top 8 right now, but I think as time goes on, he's going to continue to score, and I'm sure he'll have many hat-tricks and braces throughout the whole season. But what I can now say, guys, is we are joint 5th position with West Ham. Us and West Ham both have played in 7 games on 12 points. Bournemouth and Liverpool, who are above us by 1 point, have already played their 8th game. So if we take a little look at the standings right now, we win our game against Chelsea, we'd potentially go up to 15 points, which would knock Liverpool and Bournemouth and West Ham all down a spot and move us into 3rd position on 15 points, 1 point behind Spurs, 5 points behind Manchester City. So if we get this win over Chelsea, which realistically we need to, where are Chelsea right now? They're down in 12th position. They've won 2, drawn 3, lost 2. So we're in a great position here. I'm shocked at that. Look at Manchester United and Arsenal down in 15th and 16th position. You got Brighton down the bottom there in 18th position. They just drew against Manchester City. So it really shows that even small teams like Brighton, like Southampton, like Fulham, we can take on some of the bigger teams. And that's why when I hope we clash against Spurs and City, we do a job over them and we can get that win and close that gap a little bit more. But regardless, to go up to potentially 15 points, only 5 points behind the leaders, Manchester City, that puts us in a great position. And happily enough, it puts us back into a Champions League spot. So the lineup we are putting out against Chelsea, Vestergaard isn't fully fit. Unfortunately, he did pick up bruised shoulder and he is injured for 5 days. It's only been 4 days, so he is back, but he's not fully fit. I will look at taking him off in the second half. But we're going with Lautaro Martinez linking up with Danny Ings in the striker positions. Redmond, Højbjerg, Ward-Prowse and Genepo in the midfield. Bertrand, Vestergaard, Bednarek and Valerie at the back, with Angus Gunn between the sticks. There's nothing more for me to say. This game is already hyped up enough. We've got Chelsea coming to St Mary's Stadium, normally one of the top 6 Premier League teams. Chelsea, they're normally in and around the top 6, tend to now and again be in the top 4, especially recently. They're certainly playing a lot more poorer than they used to after losing Hazard, and whether they'll get a top 4 place, personally, I don't think they will. That's why I'm calling them a top 6 team. But regardless, they're going to be a difficult opponent. We've got to focus. We know what we've got to do. We need to score goals, keep a clean sheet, get the win, and bag those 3 important points in the Premier League. Big game here at the St Mary's Stadium. This could depend on whether we finish top 6 or not. Our aim this season is to finish in the top 8. That's my highest of highest. Top 8 would be nice. Realistically, we're happy to finish between 14th and 8th. Somewhere in there would make it realistic. Anything below 14th, we haven't played well enough. Anything above 8th, we've played absolutely unbelievable. Chelsea right now are the best defensive team in the Premier League, with Spurs and Leicester only conceding 7 goals. So the question is, can we put a few past them and take that current record off them as we get this kicked off with Danny Ings? Let's get it underway and let's see what damage we can do to Chelsea. Redmond laying it off now to Lautaro Martinez. Genepo likes it out Dinkin now, looking for Redmond, who's running through. Ward-Prowse. Højbjerg on the volley. Oh, not a bad strike there from Højbjerg. And a big save from Kepa. It's Højbjerg. Højbjerg intercepts. It's played down now from Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro Martinez going now, and that should be a great ball through. Lautaro Martinez through on goal. It's a big save. Redmond to follow up. And Kepa was there to gather that one, no problem. That was close. Kante drops the shoulder. Let's get there, Valerie. Good lad. Keep going, son. Nicely done, Valerie's down now. Couldn't shove Kante off it. Pedro in. Bednarek was there. Let's get rid of this ball. Kante into Volland. Volland gets a shot off. It's back of the net. 1-0 down. We certainly do not deserve that. Oh, that's a little bit heartbreaking, that goal. We've been playing so well. I don't think either team personally deserves to be in the lead. But somehow Chelsea, with their first decent chance, managed to punish us. I don't feel like Gunn had a great vision on this one as he hit it. I feel like Højbjerg, I feel like Vestergaard was maybe in his line of sight. He couldn't see it. Volland hit it on his left foot. Højbjerg's coming across there. And yeah, I don't think Angus Gunn had a good enough eye to see that one. But unfortunately, we are now 1-0 down after just 29 minutes. Danny Ings laying off now to Højbjerg on his right foot. Højbjerg in off the post. And we've pulled it back to 1-1 with only 5 minutes left in this first half. Well done, skipper Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Puts a lovely finessed low shot past Kepa in off the post. I think it was the kind of same situation with their goal. I don't think the keeper Kepa could have seen it. I think there was too many players in the way. Højbjerg got a few players in front of him, but he manages to just bend it out the way. If you look here, you got Christiansen, and I do believe Kante kind of in front of the ball. Danny Drinkwater's also there. It's probably more Danny Drinkwater than Kante. I think Kepa probably expected one of them to get in the way of it. He doesn't. Højbjerg scores, runs off to celebrate, and we will hopefully now be going at half-time at the St Mary's Stadium. Back at level terms after pulling it back to 1-1 and cleared out for the Saints throw-in. Let's see if we can get something from this throw-in here. Put it into the middle. There's Ward-Prowse. Martinez, edge of the box, looks at bend and one. Oh, Lautaro Martinez, take a bow, son. As he runs off to do the Bobby Firmino celebration. What a stunning goal. Look at this. Bit of space, takes a touch, boom, again. Feel like there was too many players in the way. Kepa didn't see it coming. We got Christiansen, we've got our own player Danny Ings. We've also got Azpilicueta that seems to be in the eye line of the keeper and the ball. So by the time he's seen it, it was already bending into that top right corner. Fourth goal in the Premier League. We are 2-1 up right on half time. And I'm pretty sure with only a few seconds and a few kicks to go, the referee is now going to blow for half time at the St Mary's Stadium. I kind of started to think in my own head, if we go in 1-0 down, I think we'd be lucky to get it to a 1-1 draw. I think Chelsea had come out with a completely different game in the second half. They'd be 1-0 up. They'd look at shutting it down as fast as they could, finding a second or third goal, attacking down the wings with the likes of Willian and Volland, and eventually look to punish us. I thought if we went in at 1-1, it'd be a completely fair game in the second half. Both teams have come out pushing on for that win. But we are in fact coming out in this second half now with a 2-1 lead, and our game plan going forward is to find that third important goal. I think if we take this game to 3-1 early on in the second half, we should potentially see off Chelsea here and bag the 3 points. As off, the question is, can we find that third important goal? Redmond going to hold this up and go into Højbjerg. Going to lay this off now toward Prowse. He's going to poke it round to Genepo. Lay it off now toward Prowse. Onto that stronger right foot. Let's fly. Big save there from Kepa. And Kepa right now has just kept them in this game. He's now going to get it in behind. So Bednarek is going to have to come across here. Stop the ball coming in. Vestergaard was there. Ross Barkley follows up. And I think with Ross Barkley's shot going wide at goal, we will now look at making some changes. So for me, Vestergaard, who wasn't fully fit to start this game, has got to come off for Stevens. I'm also going to look at bringing, let's have a look at Højbjerg and Ward-Prowse. Højbjerg looking a little worse for wear over Ward-Prowse. We're going to take him off and bring on Mario Lemina. And the last move for me, I think, is going to be, Danny Ings is looking a little bit less tired than Martinez. But if I just switch Martinez and Redmond, how are we looking here? Yeah, Danny Ings is still a little bit worse for wear. Let me just check Genepo. Genepo and Danny Ings are about the same, but I feel like Genepo has a much better recovery and stamina compared to Danny Ings, who we know can be very injury prone. So the last and final substitute for us is going to be Che Adams on for Ings. We've got Lamina on in the midfield for Højbjerg and Stevens on for Vestergaard. Bertrand is the ex-Chelsea man. Here comes Ross Barkley. Well, Prowse come across, ball in, let's deal with it. We don't. Mario Lamina keeps that one in, nicely done. Ball shot there from Kovacic. It was a hell of a strike, but it was rising and wasn't coming down quick enough. I'm just going to play a nice short ball here to Prowse, go back to Genepo, go back now to Valery, going to hoof it upfield, and there we go! We had to stay a little bit compact and a little bit tight towards those last 5-10 minutes in this game. Chelsea started really wanting to push on and try and get something out of this game. Kovacic, Barkley, Volland, Willian is still in Ryan Bertrand's back pocket. But to turn up against Chelsea and get a result like that, we played very well against Liverpool. Sadly, didn't get the win. But it certainly felt like a win, that's for sure. This time round against Chelsea, it felt like a win. And we also got a win. To play a top 6 Premier League club and get a result like that is absolutely unbelievable. And on paper, we fully deserve it as well. 10 shots, 7 of them being on target. Whereas for Chelsea, it was only 4 shots, 2 on target. Lautaro Martinez once again picks up man of the match with a 9.3 rating. Did he get an assist and a goal? Goals, 1 for Martinez, and where are goal assists? No, Ward-Prowse was on assist, and so was Danny Ings. So Martinez just picking up a goal, but managed to get a 9.3 rating. Once again, played very well, made some great runs, but most importantly, he did it for the team, and we managed to beat Chelsea 2-1 and bag those 3 very important points. Right, and here we are, guys, at match day, about to travel away to face off against Bournemouth, and we're coming off a back end of an unbelievable start in today's episode. We had to simulate the first game away from home against Wolves, which we managed to win 1-0, which was an incredible result, because first of all, we're simulating an away game, which is never easy to do. There's a bigger chance that you're going to lose or draw than actually win, but we managed. It was a great start for today's episode. We've now just beat one of the top 6 Premier League teams in Chelsea, and we beat them 2-1. We've done it in style, and we could have had 3 or 4 if it wasn't for Kepa on the day pulling off some incredible saves. We currently now sit exactly where I expected, in 3rd position. We've got Liverpool behind us with 1 point, Fulham and Wolves behind us with 2 points, but they've already played their 9th game. So if we manage to win this game against Bournemouth, we go up to 18 points, which puts a gap between 3rd and 4th, us and Liverpool, as in 4 points, which means we could lose a game and Liverpool could win a game, and they still don't catch us and knock us down any further down the board. We would be on 18 points, putting us only 1 point behind 2nd position Spurs. If we can keep up with Spurs, that'd be nice. But unfortunately, it still puts us 5 points behind City. It just feels right now that City have had a great start to the season. They're seriously pushing on. They're already 4 points clear on 2nd position Spurs. So even if City lose their next game and Spurs won, knock them off the top. And that is where me as a manager, when I was at Liverpool or at Ajax, because obviously at Ajax we managed to go every single game undefeated. We won every single game in the Eredivisie, which was just incredible. We won every single game and we were unstoppable. The aim of that is within the first, I think I normally say about 12 to 15 played, that's where you need a gap of more than 9 points. I think if you can get to about 15 games in and you're more than 9 points clear, you should certainly continue to keep pushing on. Shouldn't really drop any points and start dropping down the table. City right now are looking to do that. They're only 9 in, they're already 4 points clear. So if Spurs start dropping points, Man City are going to continue to push on, and that's why we have to keep Southampton going. The Saints have to keep rolling the points in, because if Spurs do start lacking, we need to make sure that we move up to 2nd and keep putting that pressure constantly on Manchester City, hoping that they will slip up. But the team we are putting out against Bournemouth have made a few little changes. We're giving Mario Lamina his very first start in the central midfield role alongside Højbjerg. We've also brought El Yunusi back into the team on that left mid position for Ryan Bertrand, and we've also now brought Mele back in at right back. Valery's been great. He's just hit a 70 overall rating. He's been unbelievable, but I want to make sure I'm constantly rotating the team, giving everyone a fair chance. But we are going with Lautaro Martinez and Danny Ings up top in the striker positions, El Yunusi, Højbjerg, Lamina and Genepo in the midfield, Bertrand, Vestergaard, Bednarek and Mele at the back, with Angus Gunn between the sticks. Let's get into this game against Bournemouth. I do believe they are down in either 7th or 8th position. We do have a fair few points on them, But I'm just hoping when we travel to face off against them now, we bag those 3 points, we bring those 3 crucial points back to Southampton. And hopefully you guys have a decent game with plenty of highlights. Here we go. Bournemouth not going to be an easy opponent. We're all top. They've got Joshua King, Wilson. At the back, Nathan Akey. I'm assuming probably Begovic or Boric between the sticks. Either one of them. Begovic going to be a very difficult keeper, standing in at 6'6" with a huge arm span. It is Begovic between the sticks for Bournemouth. Nathaniel Klein still at Bournemouth on loan from Liverpool. Bournemouth are down in 9th position points, but to be honest, it's very packed between 3rd and 10th with only 2 or 3 points being in it. So it just goes to show at the start of this season, it's a very, very tight game so far, and we really have to get every single 3 points that we possibly can as Bournemouth kick us off in this first half. Play it back. Melee. Nice little whip ball in now, looking for Højbjerg in the middle. It's cleared away. Lemina takes it down on the volley. Big strike there from Mario Lemina. And Begovic with an incredible reach. Palm that one out. What a nice bit of control with his left foot. And then volleyed it on his right. Through now to Højbjerg. Tony Martinez. Danny Ings. A little bit of skill. Trying to get past one. Danny Ings on his right foot. Oh, it's just by the goal. Not a bad strike there from Danny Ings. Got it onto that stronger right foot. Tried to put it in the far corner away from Begovic. It was only just wide of goal, but a great attempt from Danny Ings, who really hasn't got into scoring ways this season so far. Let's start getting some bodies on the line here, lads. Ball into the middle. Cliven Lewin. Lemina. Lewis Cook. Plays it round now. It's a great ball in behind for Cliven Lewin. And it's 1-0 Bournemouth.
And what a build-up that was. The way that they pulled the opposition.
It was great passing from the Bournemouth team. It really was. They were passing so well on the edge of the box. They kept the ball for a fair few minutes, waiting for the space to open up. It's a beautiful ball through there from Lewis Cook, who places it through to Cliven Lewin, who then slots past Angus Gunn between the sticks. It's his first goal in the Premier League. And just like the game against Chelsea, we are now sadly 1-0 down to Bournemouth. 3 minutes added on. It looks like we could potentially be going in here. 1-0 down to Bournemouth, which is not the result we really wanted. Oh, we've got to be careful here. Don't lose that ball. Don't let it happen. Nicely done. Forced them back. Let's get a foot in now. Sliding in. Ball comes into the middle. Angus Gunn comes out to punch that one. Let's try and flick this on from Danny Ings to Tony Martinez. I was looking to put that ball back through to Ings to try and get them on the counter as they pushed a lot of players forwards with that attack there from Bournemouth. But unfortunately, the referee has blown for half time. We are going in at 1-0 down. I think it's the same sort of story with Chelsea. Bournemouth are going to come out in the second half looking for that second goal and then hopefully look to shut shop and bag these important points. At the end of the day, we are Southampton, but we are 3rd in the Premier League and they will take those 3 points away from us, and that's why it's important. The next goal that is scored has to come from the Saints as we get the second half kicked off with Tony Martinez. Bournemouth coming forwards once again here. Cliven Lewin puts it down. Got to be careful. Angus Gunn's come out for that one. He's pulled off an incredible save. He come out without me asking him to. I'm kind of glad he did. He managed to put his body on the line and take that one to the thigh, which then, lucky enough for us, goes over the bar, not under it. They're going to go short here. Let's go, El Yunusi. Ball into the middle. Let's deal with Gomez. Was there. It's off the crossbar. Deal with it. And Bednanek puts it out for another corner. Cherum's dancing backwards. There's Mario Lemina. Ward-Prowse into Lautaro Martinez. Laying it off now to Che Adams. He's coming forward. Che Adams gets a shot off. It's finished up there from Ward-Prowse. Begovic spills the ball. And we've gone 1-1. We've brought it back to level terms. I wasn't even ready to celebrate there. I really didn't think we were going to get something. I honestly thought we were going to get a penalty as Che Adams marches into the box. Nathaniel Klein slides in, just misses. Che Adams could have easily given a penalty away there. Begovic saves, palms it straight into the path of Ward-Prowse, who was a substitute coming on for us. And he manages to be in the right place at the right time and pull this back. We've got 8 minutes. Can we potentially now look to push on and get the 3 points, not just 1? Throw your body on the lines here, lads. We're getting a point out of it, which was more than we were a minute ago. Mario Lemina with a great tackle. Referee, come on. They're going to look at maybe taking this fast. No, they're going to hold up. Raises over this one. May potentially go for goal here, Ryan Fraser. No, he's dipped over it. It's going to be a shot now. And Ryan Fraser is going to score a spectacular free kick. Postage stamp, top corner, not much we could have done there. Over his far side of Adam Smith, down to Ryan Fraser, it's all over. That is a little bit heartbreaking to lose in like the 89th, 90th minute from, don't get me wrong, an unbelievable free kick from Ryan Fraser. You can't take anything away from him there. But, well, look at Ryan Fraser next to, oh, Smalley looks next to Vestergaard. It looks strange, like you couldn't even see Vestergaard's head. Oh, sorry, the 87th minute, the goal come from Ryan Fraser, only 5 minutes after Ward-Prowse scored. Unfortunately, if Mario Lemina didn't give away that foul, obviously I know I'm controlling them, but if he didn't give away that foul, we wouldn't have the free kick, we would have got a point out of that game. We sadly, oh, do you know what's even worse? On paper, we shouldn't have lost that. 6 shots, 2 on target from Bournemouth, 9 shots, 7 on target for Southampton. Begovic was unbelievable on the day, made some incredible saves. Ryan Fraser bagged them the 3 points with an unbelievable free kick in the 87th minute. The bottom line is, if we didn't give that foul away, we wouldn't have lost that game. Ward-Prowse picks up man of the match with an 8.0 rating. And we march on to this final game that we will be simulating against Newcastle and hope that we do bag those 3 very important points. We can't afford to be dropping points because we will start getting knocked down the pecking order and won't be in the top 8 if we continue our losing ways. Right guys, and here we are at match day. We're about to face off against Newcastle at the St Mary's Stadium, and unfortunately due to that 2-1 loss to Bournemouth, we have dropped down, luckily enough, only 1 place from 3rd to 4th. We sit currently on 15 points. Bournemouth, after beating us, sit 1 point ahead of us on 16 points. Realistically, when you look outside and look more between 4th position and 11th position, there's only 3 points in it. In 11th, we have Crystal Palace on 12 points and ourselves in 4th on 15. There's only 1 win and 1 loss in it. So I think between 4th position and 11th position, especially the likes of Fulham, Wolves, Newcastle, Burnley, West Ham, there's going to be a lot of changes down there. We're playing Newcastle now. If we lose, we're going to drop down, and Newcastle are going to move up. And depending on other games, we've got Watford versus Huddersfield. We've got Southampton versus Newcastle, Fulham versus Bournemouth. Fulham are in 6th. If they beat Bournemouth, they will move up to be joint with Bournemouth on 16. So realistically, a lot of games that could make a big difference to us. And that's why it's important this early on into the Premier League, we get as many wins as we can under our belt. But the big clash is between Spurs and Manchester City. Right now, between those two, there's 4 points. If Spurs beat them and Spurs are at home, they beat them, there's 1 point between it. Unfortunately, we've let the gap slip between us and Spurs. We've been 1 point behind. If they beat City, great, they close the gap. But then they push the gap further away from us being able to catch them. So it's a little bit of hit and miss. We want them to try and beat City to stop them in their path. Realistically, the best result for us could be a City versus Spurs draw. That would be absolutely unbelievable. But the lineup we are putting out against Newcastle, I've made a couple of changes. I've brought Adams back into the team. Romeo is also back in the midfield with Højbjerg. And obviously Melee keeps his position at right back. But I am a little bit concerned about him because when I actually physically play with him, he seems to constantly be out of position, whereas Valerie not so much. So I'm a little bit worried over that. We'll have to keep an eye on whether he continues to be a starting player in this Saints team. But we're going with Martinez and Che Adams up top in the striker position. Redmond, Højbjerg, Romeo and Genepo in the midfield. Bertrand, Vestergaard, Bednarek and Melee at the back with Angus Gunn between the sticks. Let's simulate this game. We're at home. I'm hopeful we can get the win, bounce back after that unfortunate loss to Bournemouth. As the referee does blow his whistle, we are kicked off 10 minutes in and nothing has happened just yet. Matt Ritchie picks up a yellow card in the 13th minute and we go Lautaro Martinez, our striker, scores in the 18th minute. We are fast approaching half time. We are now into the second half. Not much else happened in the first half other than Martinez scoring and Matt Ritchie picking up a yellow card. Love a second goal anytime now, Saints, just to give us that clear-cut win. Because I'm a little bit worried going into these last 10 minutes whether Newcastle are going to equalise. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. They don't. And the only from that game are Lautaro Martinez picking up a goal in the 18th minute and Matt Ritchie picking up a yellow card in the 13th. But what an unbelievable result. As we look down at the latest scores, we can see that Manchester City beat Spurs after Gabriel Jesus scores in the 3rd minute. Fulham then went 1-0 up against Bournemouth thanks to Brian in the 85th minute. But only 3 minutes later, Mbolo scores for Bournemouth in the 88th to bring it back to 1-1 to Fulham, and Bournemouth was a draw. We get a win. That means we should have moved back above Bournemouth and back into our 3rd position slot. Right guys, and here we are back at the Central for the final time in today's episode. I've now advanced all the way to the first game for the next episode, which is going to be a home against Norwich in the round 4 of the Carabao Cup. I think from this point on, we need to start playing some Carabao Cup games. I think we've already simulated 2 this season, and I think we've been very, very lucky to get through. I don't want to risk that anymore, and we're against the newly promoted in real life Norwich, who have got a very decent team. But as we move over to the calendar, just a few things I want to do before we end today's episode. Number 1, look at what games are going to be in the next episode, and number 2, see where we lie in the Premier League standings. But we have Norwich for the first game in the next episode, which I will look to play. We then have Manchester City away from home in the Premier League, Watford at home in the Premier League, and then at the end of the month, we face off against Fulham away from home. Now, I'm pretty sure if we beat Norwich, there will be another game thrown in here somewhere. So what I'm going to say is, we're going to have the Norwich game, the City game, the Watford game, and then another game thrown in here. The problem with that, if we play the Norwich game and win, we're going to have another game thrown in here, which is going to be the round 8. So I think that's going to be, if my corrections are right, so you've got the final, which is 2 teams, the semi-final, which is 4 teams. You've then got the quarterfinals, which is 8 teams, and then you've got the round 16. I think, yeah, we're in the round of 16. So if we beat Norwich, we're through to the quarterfinals. The problem is if a quarterfinals game gets thrown in here, and we've already played Norwich and we've played City, we then have to simulate the Watford game and simulate the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, which is a slight problem. So I may well in the next episode look a little bit differently over it, because I may well take the risk of simulating the game against Norwich, playing City, simulating Watford, and then playing the quarterfinals game if it appears there. But I'll look back at previous career modes. If you guys know it's going to appear in one of those 2 weeks, either the week of the 11th or the week of the 18th, please let me know, because I will seriously have to have a think about whether it's worth playing the first game against Norwich or simulating it, hoping we get the win. And then, of course, look at playing the quarterfinals in one of those 2 weeks. But the last thing I want to do in today's episode, guys, is go and check out where we lie and stand in the Premier League. We are back in 3rd. It's a shame that City beat Spurs, because now they sit 7 points clear on Spurs, and they sit 8 points clear on us in 3rd position. This has certainly been a challenge, because what you guys have to remember, you know, in the Ajax road to glory, in the Manchester City season wonder, in the Liverpool career mode, we literally got in the top 4 and we never left the top 4. Whereas today's episode, we finished outside the top 4. We started today's episode outside the top 4. We ended the last episode outside the top 4. Then we're in the top 4. Then we're out the top 4. And it's so close now. You can see that the gap is starting to bridge, because Chelsea are down in 8th position on 13 points. We're in 3rd on 18. We're 5 points clear on Chelsea in 8th. So things are certainly starting to open up now. Crystal Palace, who were down in 11th just a few moments ago, we were talking about them, and now up in 5th position. If you look at 11th now, they're on 13 points. I would say between 6th position, which is Fulham, and all the way down pretty much to 15th position, which is Manchester United. I can't believe Arsenal, wow, Everton are in the relegation zone right now in 18th position. The Gunners, Arsenal down in 17th, Manchester United down in 15th. There's a lot of teams that should not be above Manchester United, Arsenal and Everton, like Burnley, Cardiff, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Bournemouth, Southampton. None of us should really be above them. We are going to end today's episode 1 point behind 2nd position Spurs, 8 points behind the champions. I'm not crowning them champions yet. What are you saying, Brad? 8 points behind the leaders, Manchester City. 1 point ahead of 4th position, Bournemouth. We're in a great position. We're right in the pack right now to potentially finish in the top 6 if we continue our ways, which would just be unbelievable for this one final FIFA 19 career mode at Southampton. It'd be an unbelievable run if we could finish in the top 6. I'm aiming for top 8. If we could finish in top 6, well, I'd be absolutely over the goddamn moon. But that is going to do it for today's episode, guys. And if you have enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And I've been MassiveBrad. Peace out.